The negotiation will be held in the Spearly Island, and Rin is pretending to go along with the whole ordeal, and they see Naja there, all official like, but also very tired. Rin is looking at him, and she no longer sees the boy he once was, but a man who has been through the ringer. They have a tea ceremony and begin. Rin is not playing around and wants to know what they want. Naja does tell them and start with the good news first. They will get enough food and supplies so the next harvest, which I'm guessing is a whole year. So that's a lot of food and supplies and exactly what they need. Before Kittai can say thank you, Rin wants to know the details on the why and what they need to do, which I appreciate. Rin talking over Kittai here. As much as I want to say thank you as well, this is not the time to say it to your enemies. And it's good to have Rin here take over that. Naja does list some of the terms, and they want their soldiers, people, anyone left over back to them safely. They want ports all around where there's sea, which, if you know your history, these ports will include human trafficking. They also want the great company to continue preaching on their land, which is also very dangerous because when they are spewing their religion, the more followers, the easier it is to conquer the country. It's easy propaganda. Rin asks what is going to happen to her, and Naja tells her that she would have to wear the golden cups forever. She can have the south, but if they need her, then Rin will have to follow their orders, just like Naja, who was used like a weapon. So the same goes for Rin and Kittai, of course. Nikon is not in a place to negotiate. So these terms may seem harmless, such as the ports and allowing the great company to stay, but it also comes down to Rin. Is she willing to give herself up like Naja gave himself up for the people? Rin is appalled by these golden cups, and she's asking why. And it's because they have the power. They have the upper hand, and Naja sees that. And what they offer can help so many people. Naja is willing to suffer if it means a better place for his people. And that's what he's been spewing since book 2. He's trying his best to find balance and not fully give in to the experience. The small fights matter. Rin can come off as selfish and annoying by not wanting to wear the cuffs and pushing the people to fight another war. She's a phoenix, so she needs to fly, versus Naja, who is doing the right thing morally, I guess, because he wants to be a good leader for his people. He is in chains to help his country, and some of that blame does belong to his father, of course. But in the end, I'm with Naja here. I see that the Asparians have the upper hand. And even though I won the battle, I did not win the war. Naja tells them that he is so close to getting their respect and he understands who they are. He also tells them that they have only seen them at their worst, and if they can get some respect from them, then he can actually make some change. Kittai asks what he needs to get that respect, and he tells them straight up, your heads. Naja has had this opportunity before where he could have done this, but he didn't. So I give him credit for defying his oppressors. Not only does he love Rin and Kittai, but it's the small battles that become important, like now, where they all are alive and they are sitting down to negotiate. I think that's important to remember for Naja's sake. He did this. He managed to keep them alive. He managed to defy the Asparians, and now they are together sitting down to negotiate. That's a huge win. Naja is telling Rin that she won. She did win. Fair and square, kid. What else do you need to prove? Naja is just trying to make this easier for everybody. He is the middleman now. Rin knows what the Asperians are capable of, but the way she keeps fighting, it's like she wants to be the final winner. She wants to get rid of anyone opposing her. She does not want to submit. That has been her problem throughout the whole series. Rin is over the talk and she is going haywire. She thinks this is not a peace treaty. She thinks this is the final war. She wants to remake history and starts displaying her fire at the dirigibles who have come out to see what the commotion is all about. Rin starts to remember how people could have had it all if they released the Phoenix. And Rin has the will to move the world and make her mark on history. Rin is destroying everything around her, and Naja is trying to stop her, but he can't since he is hurting because of the golden cuffs. Rin is seeing enemies everywhere, and the worst part of this is that the Phoenix is just laughing. The Phoenix is not doing any of this. It's all Rin. The Phoenix is in the background watching it all play like a movie, and she is enjoying every last bit of chaos that Rin is creating on her own. Her fire stops and she no longer feels the access to the Phoenix, and that's because Kitai has blocked her. Kitai is telling her, I never denied you anything, and Rin calls him a traitor. Rin and Kitai start fighting fist to fist, and Rin keeps forgetting that Kitai was also trained to be a soldier. At school, they never fought each other because even in practice, they didn't even want to hurt each other. But at this moment, Kitai knows where to hurt Rin, and he is able to contain her. But Rin is not having it, so Kitai takes a knife and starts to stab himself. There's a moment where they are in this state where they see each other in their own bubble, and Rin has the upper hand to take over Kitai. She knows that if she fully takes Kitai, she'll have his obedience, but she will never have his heart. When they go back to reality, she realizes that she's choking him and that he's looking at her like she looked at Alton, the way Daji looked at Riga. This complete loyalty. Do it. Take what you want. I'll hate you for it, but I'll love you forever. I can't help but love you. Ruin me, ruin us, and I'll let you. This is when the tears start falling. The first time, the second time. My tears are not for Rin. They are for Kitai and the absolute loyalty he has given her. The tears that just fall from my face. The first time I was like, it was like a dam broke. My tears were just falling at this part. All my videos that I've done for this book, I have always said that Kitai and Rin are my favorite duo. They love each other. They have loyalty to each other. Rin is her best person when Kitai is around. So to see this ultimate moment between them, it hurts so much, and it hurts more because I root for Kitai. He has shown absolute loyalty to this girl. He never gave it to anybody else but Rin. Rin knows that she will always need the fire. She will never stop. And she realized that once she's alone, everything will stop. There is always going to be someone that will try to take her power. Rin gets shocked, so she sees things more clearly, and Kitai tells her that she's hurting him. The rage and the Phoenix are gone for now and holds on to Kitai. Naja wakes up from being passed out and calls her name. Rin describes him as looking lost and childlike, who doesn't know what to do. I have been seeing that version of Naja since book 2, or since the second half of book 1. This fragile boy is lost. And that's why he looks up to Rin, because she always seems like she knows what she's doing. Rin is finally realizing that all these powerful people before her refused to be part of history that hurt so many people. I see it as they took themselves out of history. They didn't want to be a part of this cruel story. Rin understands that now and remembers what Kittai told her. Sometimes you have to bend the knee, even if you're pretending. The small battle counts. Rin knows what she needs to do and turns to Naja with the knife and tells him, earn their respect. Tell them what they need to hear. Kittai nods because there is no world without both of them together. She knows that this is cruel. She knows that this is a cruel thing to ask for Naja, but he has to do it. Naja looks so scared and makes a face that reminds her of the first time they met at Cinegard. I love that description because that's the boy she fell in love with. Naja is so scared, but Rin has enough resolve for both of them. The last man standing is Naja. I did not see that coming. And when he looks at Rin, he sees her as this small thing. He sees Kittai and he knows that they have a bond that he will never understand. There is no world where they are not together. The more rational side of him is happy that she's gone because she was a terror to the world. The other side of him is cursing her because now he's alone. He is probably the lone survivor of his whole class. In a way, he is now like the lonely Spearly in the world. Although Rin was this terrible person to their country, Naja has a clean slate that he can work with. He is the only one that can fix this mess if he plays his cards right. He can save his people. The small battles. Naja is the perfect lone survivor. I am so happy that I listened to the audiobooks twice. The first time around, I honestly hated Rin so much that every time I saw a positive review about this series, it just irked the living, out of me. And the reason why I did these long reviews was so I can kind of talk to myself about what made me so angry about this book, and that is the main character, Rin. And I also surprised myself by how much I learned a lot more about her, and I understand her character a lot more. I also really like the fact that I actually had a good time reading the story, but that still is not enough for me to really get these books on my shelf or just read them again. So for this third book and her final book, I was surprised that I really enjoyed this book the most out of her other two books, because the first time around I enjoyed the second book more, first book, and then the third book. But reading it now, the second time around, my favorite books from the third, second, and now first. This book was a lot better than book 2 and 1. I feel like Rin truly became the person I wanted her to be. She grew a lot more in this book than she did in book 1 and 2. In the beginning of this book, she needed allies, but she's not likable. So a lot of people were not on her side. And it's not until later on that the reason why so many people were on her side was the fact that they wanted vengeance just as much as Rin wanted her vengeance. I like the fact that she was truthful about herself and how she actually didn't mind the violence. She actually wanted to have that power over people.
She wanted to be the winner, and I'm glad that she finally admit that her actions were her own actions and not the Phoenix. Every time something happened, she realized it was her. I really like that she was true to herself. Like, she admitted, like, you're not this meek little girl, Rin. You are this spiteful bitch. And I'm glad that it showed a lot more in this third book. In a weird way, it made me like her a little bit more because she wasn't hiding. She wasn't meek. Going into this third book, she really found her power, which is her dark side, and because that's what the people needed. And I'm glad that she got what she wanted in the end. She got an army. And a lot of that was thanks to Kittai and the people around her that helped her get to that point. Throughout this whole book, we understand Rin, but do the characters, do all these other people, the common people, know who Rin is? And I don't think so. They only saw the Phoenix. They know her as the Phoenix. So that's one of the problems that I'm glad is also in this book. I really enjoyed some of the characters we got to know in the beginning, like Soji. I honestly think he's a better person than Rin. He fought for the South and he decided to betray Rin to protect the South. I don't feel bad for Rin at all because Rin doesn't even like the South. She's using them. She's using the people. So for his ending to happen the way it did, it's sad, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. I think he was one of my favorite characters in the first part of this book. One of the troubling things about this book was the information that wasn't needed. It's like some downtime of during their travels, that they just have these conversations that we already know. And Arif Kwan does this where she just implies things, and that irked me so much. I don't mind the showing and not telling, but she showed us a lot, and I would have liked some things confirmed, because you always have the implications work, because there are some that went over my head the first time listening to the audiobook. It took me listening to it the second time that I caught so many things. I was like, oh, so that's what you mean by this. So she does imply a lot, and that was really annoying. And there were some conversations like, can we just get on like with this program, please? Like, we honestly can cut this because it's not important. You keep repeating, we keep going in circles with this conversation. Every time Rin tried to get information out of Zhang, and it never happened. She never got any real solid information from him, just like it's like little bits and pieces. And it was honestly a struggle to listen to it. And it took me a lot not to fast forward, because I needed to pay attention to the whole book instead of just little pieces of it. So, but during this time, I was really frustrated with Arif Kwan's writing. She did an amazing job writing her series. I can see the detail. I can see that she paid attention to these characters, to the history, actual events. I liked that she put these horrible moments in history into this book. I think that was one of the most important parts of this whole series. So I really enjoyed some of her writing and some of the descriptions we had throughout the whole series. But sometimes it did feel like it was YA writing at times, and it really fell flat for me as an adult. I know these books are not for adults. They're more for 18 and up, I believe. So some of the writing for me did fall flat, but that's fine. It's just my critique in her first series. She becomes a better writer later down the line with her other book. My favorite part of this book was part 3, I believe, where she becomes a teacher. She doesn't consider herself a teacher, but I honestly listened to this and I'm like, she's a teacher. She's a master. Not as good as Zhang or Daji, but she is a lot more advanced than anybody else out there. So I was really rooting for her when she started to create more shamans. Her pupils, Paji, Dulin, and Linhua. Of course, I can't forget Murchie, but I honestly love this version of Rin. Throughout my whole videos, I've been saying how awful it is to be a shaman. Why would you choose this life? And then I started to understand why you would choose this life. And her students are great examples of it. It's their own way of fighting. And I really enjoyed how Rin was teaching them. She didn't BS anything. So this part was my absolute favorite part in this whole book, probably in this whole series. And I really felt like Rin grew into her own this moment. She finally became the psych leader that she needed to be in book 2. It sucks that it took her so long to figure it out. And this is one of the things about R.F. Kuang's writing, is that it's too slow. We needed to pick things up. Realistically, if she had more books to come, I think the pacing, she can continue her pace the way she wants it. But if I can give some more critique, it would be to speed things up a bit and cut conversations that don't need to be there and information that just won't serve a purpose because you're done with this series. There's nothing else after this. I don't need you to add anything else as a mystery. We need to move on. You need to save your sentences. So this version of Rin, her master, her teacher, this version that she was actually a good leader, where she led to win, I wish that was put in a lot earlier in book 3 and maybe even book 2. It's unfortunate that it took so long for her to get there, in my perspective. The first time listening to these series, I was rooting for Rin from book 1 to the ending of book 3. So that's why I feel really disappointed the first time around, not so much the second time around. And one of the reasons why I continued this series, one of the reasons why I kept listening was because I was rooting for her. I was waiting for that moment where she would become the hero, which comes into like my final theory after listening to this series twice. And I think that she is the villain of this story. The hero is Naja. I've been putting out comments on Pinterest regarding my feelings for Naja and how I believe that he is a much better person than Rin is, and people get heated by it. But how can you not root for Naja? He was the hero in this book. In book 3, he refused to take out Rin and Kitai. He fought for his people in the way he could, in any way that he can. He was tired. He didn't want to be king. As much as Rin tried to project her insecurities and her ambition towards him, he didn't want that. He was just tired, and he wanted everything to just stop. He wanted his friends on his side. He wanted the Asperians. He understood the Asperians a lot more. So I feel like Naja truly is the hero in this story. He did fall for his naivety, and he did fall for his father's ambition and his goals. But Naja tried to fix it. He's going to try to fix things. So that's why I think he is the hero, and that's why he makes an excellent The Last Man Standing. I'm glad Rin is taken out of this picture. It's more than just me hating this character, but she truly was a plague to this world. She truly wanted things to be her way. She would have become truly a villain of Nikon, and she would have gone mad. She would have been like a mad queen. And the Phoenix does play into it, but it's just Rin. She has absolutely no confidence in the people around her, as we saw in the ending, where she didn't have confidence in Kitai. She is crazy, and she needed to be taken out. Naja and Viseira saw that in book 2. That's why Naja stabbed her in the back. Hey, we need to get rid of this person because she's a danger to us, and the Asperians saw her as a danger to them, but it's also she's a danger to everybody else. She has no control. She doesn't even want to control herself, throughout this whole series, she has these outbursts of anger, and she has the audacity to talk back to her commanders, and that was just ridiculous. Like, girl, you're a soldier, you're not as high as these commanders, and yet you're talking back, and you're wondering why none of the warlords like you. Nausea, who knows how to play the game, is able to get a lot further than Rin can. Part 2 going into part 3 of this book, I had a lot more fun enjoying this audiobook. I'm glad I caught so many little things the second time around. If you've only read this once, I do recommend listening to it twice, especially if you don't really agree with what I'm saying. You definitely don't have to agree with me, but I just would like to point out that some of the things I'm saying is not because I hate Rin and I don't want to be on her side. There were moments throughout my videos that I was on her side. I was rooting for her. I understood what she was going through. I understood her mindset a little bit more. None of that excuses the fact that Rin is just a really flawed character in my eyes. I have a feeling that R.F. Kuang was going for this strong, angry, independent, fierce warrior main character. I don't think she succeeded because Rin is this fierce character. She has this amazing fighting spirit, but she lacked a lot of the feminine qualities that can make her really strong, and that was empathy, and that was just to show any signs of kindness to other people, which she hardly did. I'm not saying that a girl has to be nice to everybody. I think R.F. Kuang was trying really hard not to make this like feminine character, but I think that also weakened her a lot because I saw her as the villain. I truly think she is the main villain of this whole story, and she took herself out. That does not excuse what she has done, but I think it would have been better if maybe we had Rin become this hopeful hero in book 1 and 2 and then turn into a villain. Book 1 was her origin story. Book 2 was the reason why she is becoming a villain, and book 3 could be her villain arc. I think if we played with that, I think I would have liked this book a lot more. I would have understood Rin a lot more. It's not messy by all means. It's just not something that I didn't like the way it was planned. I don't like Rin's character. I don't like Rin's character arc. I only liked her towards the ending of part 3 in book 3. I wish I had more of that throughout the whole series. So if you like R.F. Kuang, if you like her writing, if you like these books, you like these books. Be proud of that. This is coming from someone who loved the Twilight books growing up, and then I still love them. When everybody started hating on them, oh my gosh, I was like in the closet. I'm like, I'm a secret Twilight lover, and I'm not gonna do that anymore. If I love a book, I'm just gonna say it proudly. I love the Twilight series. It is a book that I will always cherish because it really pushed me into like the reading world. Is it the perfect story? Are there flaws? Absolutely. But I'm still a proud reader because of that book. I found this new world of loving to read, listening to the audiobooks. So if you like this book, amazing. That's great. I am not one of those people. I'm glad I spoke my truth throughout my video journey. I'm always going to be like pushing people with their opinion of this book. I really want to know why you like this book. Why did you root for Rin? Do you see Nausea as the villain, and why? He was the only one trying to become the better person in the end. Rin, what do you think that Rin was selfish for not putting on the cuffs? Because if she did that, she would have had the South. Yes, she would have been a slave to the Esperians, but there is so many possibilities in the future to fight, to take off the cuffs, to continue your fight, to continue your story, you know? And you would have had Kitai, you would have had Nausea, who would be there to continue to fight with you, and who knows how many other people there. So There are so many possibilities to staying alive, but I understand 100% why she decided to take herself out. And I'm happy she did take herself out. When she did that, I was like, ding dong, the witch is dead. Thank goodness she's out of here. And I honestly still don't think it redeemed her. She's not redeemable in my eyes. So, and I just like to ask these questions to other people who've read this book. And no one ever mentions Rin's character. Why do you like her? She's mean and she's bitter. There's barely the only time she's truly this really good character is when she's with Kid Tai. It's only when she's with Kid Tai that I see something more. You can say I'm a troll, but I just want to know. I had a better time listening to the audiobook the second time around. I had so much fun. I do wish I had more time to really digest the ending and what Rin was trying to say during her final moments. I'm glad that I'm done. I will never pick up these audiobooks again. I'm so done. I'm so happy I can move on. I'm going to do some more reviews that I want to do with books that I love. I'm also a long series person. I love books from 1 to 14 to 20. I am one of those people. I'm glad I'm done with this series. I'm so happy I'm done. I'm never picking these books up again. And I won't be reading R.F. Kuang anymore. I don't think her writing style is for me. I've listened to Babel, which is so much better, I think. But again, I felt unfulfilled when I was done listening to the audiobook. So I definitely am done with R.F. Kuang for now. I think she's too much of a young writer for me. A lot of the YA books that I grew up reading were adults in their late 30s. And maybe that's why I like those books a little bit more. And R.F. Kuang is still young and she's learning a lot. She's doing an amazing job. I love that people are rooting for her success. I like that she's able to bring whatever she wants into reality. I wish her the best success. She has a fandom that loves her, and that's like a huge congratulations on her end. But I am done. I'm so happy I'm done. Watch out for those comments on Pinterest and Instagram or anywhere, because I will be questioning people on why they like this series. Again, I'm not judging. I'm honestly just wondering why. Like, why do you like it? So, hallelujah, I'm done. I am so done.